日本は本当に安全な国なのでしょうか。財布を置いたまま離れる日常の裏側を外国人の体験から見ていきます。財布や荷物を置いたままでも平気な日常に外国人は驚きます。それでも女性が不安を感じる場面は本当にないのでしょうか。
But I'm gonna tell you something that happened to me 3 years ago, but I still think about it sometimes because it was really scary. So I was walking home from the train station around 4 p.m. I made eye contact with this older Japanese man, and he proceeded to follow me down the street for a few blocks, and then into a convenience store, and then a drugstore. At the drugstore, he was literally peeking around the corner. It made me feel like I was in a horror movie. I was so shocked and new to Japan at that time, so I didn't know what to do. I called my boyfriend at the time and put it on speakerphone so that the guy would hear that I'm talking to a man and I'm not going home to an empty house. That finally seemed to scare him off, and I was fine after that, but I still think about this situation sometimes when people tell me how safe Japan is. Unfortunately, I think women need to be careful even in the safest country in the world.
財布を落としても戻ってくる。そんな日本の日常を見てみましょう。
This guy did a social experiment. He dropped his wallet on the street, and these two elderly ladies saw it. Without a single second of thought, they picked it up, walked straight to him, and gave it back with a smile. Second, in Japan, not only are the people kind, but the police are incredibly polite too. Watch this traffic officer. She controls the crowd with so much respect. She gently guides everyone, waits patiently, and then bows to thank the people for cooperating. Lastly, Japan is so safe that people use anything to reserve their seats. Phones, wallets, laptops, full bags. You'll see them left on cafe tables with no one around. They're not lost or stolen. Someone just placed them there to save their spot.
Only in Japan. Did you know it was so safe to leave your shopping bag on the road so that you can walk into the store and buy what you want? What do you think?
安全と言われる日本でも女性が感じる不安はあります。
But I feel like Japan is safer in some senses. But there are a lot of problematic parts to Japanese society and misogyny in the society, so let's talk about it. So let's start with some positive things and things I personally would do as a woman if I was in Japan that I wouldn't do in other countries. In Japan, I would feel safe if I knew the area to walk around at night. Not all the time and not everywhere, because also in Japan there's problems, which I'll get to later, but for the most part I'd feel safe doing that. I just realized that's all I can think about, but honestly it's such a big part of being a woman. Just walking around at night and feeling safe is like such a huge thing that just that alone is worth it to be. But there are some problematic sides, so let's talk about the negative sides. While I would feel safe in Japan walking around alone at night, there are issues like stalkers, sexual assault, gropers on the train, stuff like that. So in Japan, if you know, for example, trains have separate sections just for women because there is such a problem with gropers on the train where men assault women sexually and try to touch them in places. And, you know, for that reason, they started making separate trains or parts of the train where only women can enter. And so obviously that comes from an issue. It's not because, oh, we want to make women feel more comfortable, so we'll give them a woman train. They made that because there was an issue of men groping women. And that's a big problem. Another thing about the walking alone at night. So obviously, like I said, I do that only if I know the area, because where I used to live in Tokyo, I was very safe. It was a good area. I never felt like I would have an issue running into someone. It was a residential area where families lived, kind of that part. So I didn't feel unsafe walking at night, but I would never, for example, walk alone at night in the Kabukicho red light district. Like, I'm not crazy, okay? Never. Also, there's other areas that I'd probably not walk around alone at night. Even last year when I traveled, my own area where I stayed, it was a good area, but still, I didn't feel 100% comfortable walking around at night because there are stalkers. Japan has a shit ton of stalkers and stalking issues where guys follow girls home or even steal their underwear from the first floor. That's why a lot of girls don't like to live on the first floor when they live alone. They like to live higher up because guys literally will steal it from the drying rack, after you wash it and you hang it out to dry. So a lot of girls opt out from living on the ground floor. By the way, I said first floor, but in Japan, ground floor is the first floor and then second floor is after that. While we're on this topic already, it's not exactly safety of women in Japan, but gender inequality is still huge in Japan. I think Japan is one of the lowest ranking countries in the world for like gender pay gap and inequality, even though it's a first world country, which is crazy. And one more thing I want to quickly say for safety, well, the thing is, when something happens to women, a lot of them don't report it like in many parts of the world because the police is not on your side and will ask, what did you wear? What was the situation? Maybe you made the guy upset. And so, there's a large, dark number of unreported cases of women, being sexually assaulted and worse. And so, yeah, there's a lot to work on in Japan, enough for them to be busy for a long time. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this because I kept getting this question if Japan is safe. If there's anything I forgot, make sure to add it in the comment section to, inform people a bit more. And I hope you guys learned something. I hope this was helpful. And I'll see you guys in my next video. じゃあね。
日本で暮らす外国人は安全をどう感じているのでしょうか。
I'm Lisa, and I'm a local who's lived here my whole life. And to give you my honest opinion, I would say yes to a certain extent. Yes, compared to a lot of countries, it's much safer. You can walk alone at night as a girl, and it is generally safe. But I think that it can be a little bit dangerous when so many of these solo traveling girls create videos saying how safe Japan is. And it kind of can make people or their viewers not be careful as much in Japan because it's safe. For example, people can leave their bags and phones and laptops unattended at a cafe. Yes, this is pretty normal. A lot of people do it, not as much recently, but people still do it. And most of the times, nobody will take anything. If you lose your wallet, usually someone has brought it to the police station and you can find it. So most of the times, nothing happens. But it doesn't mean that nothing ever happens. Also, on crowded trains, there are still problems like chikan, which is when a man gropes girls on the train, taking advantage of the crowded trains. So it's always important to stay aware, and I feel that it becomes even more of a shocking experience for those girls when it happens because they really think that it's safe. And so it becomes even more of a huge shock. So it's always important to stay aware, even in a place like Japan where everyone says it's safe. But not to the point where you completely relax and not think about anything. So yes, enjoy how safe it is. Enjoy walking alone at night if you want to, going for walks alone. But just please be careful.
財布やスマホを置いたまま席を離れる。その日常にある理由とは。
I've never felt safer in my life. Here, there are stores where there are no workers that are just based on trust. It is very common to leave your valuables on tables to dim your spot, like your camera or your phone or your wallet. If you did that in the US, your stuff would be snatched up in a second. Some houses don't even have locks on them. They're Japanese sliding doors. Anyone could just walk in. I'll tell you about the stupidest things I've done in Japan. I don't drink anymore, but I used to get blackout drunk and I'd be walking home at 3 in the morning, absolutely incoherent. I don't even know how I'd get home, but somehow I did, and nothing happened. No one would approach me. This one's gonna sound really bad. It was 3 a.m. in Shibuya, and I was on the street trying to get a cab, but no one would stop. This random man walked up to me and offered me a ride home. And I said, okay. He was from Turkey, and he worked in import-export, and we just had a nice conversation, and he dropped me off at my house.
子供が一人で通学できる日常はどんな仕組みに支えられているのでしょうか。
不管在哪儿，你会发现日本人住的房子几乎没有安装防盗门窗，甚至窗户和门都是可以打开的。坐地铁的时候呢，会看见很多只有7、8岁的小学生独自背着书包站下学，没有家长陪同。甚至过马路的时候，只要司机看见了有行人，往往会提前停在10米开外，等行人完全走过。这些在日常的生活当中随处可见。刚来日本时候呢，想不通，后来才知道，日本法律对待小偷、人贩子还有不礼让行人这些有严厉的处罚，会剥夺公民的各项的福利，禁止参加工作，罚金几十万，甚至下半辈子只能流浪了。这样的法律规定，你们怎么看呢？
鍵も店員もいない 無人販売。外国人が驚いたのはその仕組みでした。
millienne. Je vous montre comment ça marche. Attends. C'est ouvert في الليل ما كاين حتى واحد حاضي ni rien du tout. T'as des trucs surgelés, dumplings, gyoza, etc. Et ce qui est surprenant et choquant, c'est que c'est ouvert. C'est pas mais tu paies, t'as un système tu paies et tu peux ouvrir et tu prends. C'est ouvert, tu prends ce que tu veux et tu paies ici, dans cette boîte qui est accessible à tout le monde. C'est juste tu glisses ton billet de 1000 yens ici. Sans qu'il y ait des systèmes genre زعما ما تاخذ حتى تخلص ولا شي حاجه بلوكي ولا مسوده والو. وفي المغرب كنجي ناخذ كلاص من الزريعه كنخلصو وخصني نتسناه باش يجيب لي الساروت غيحل بيه الثلاجه باش يعطيني لا كلاص. C'est incroyable. Je suis persuadée que personne ne va venir voler ça. Je sais que les gens respectent que même si tu peux ouvrir, ils n'ouvrent que s'ils mettent l'argent et ils prennent que s'ils mettent l'argent. Crazy. Et là même de marcher tard le soir pour rentrer, je me sens très safe. Sachant qu'il n'y a pas beaucoup de gens, pas beaucoup de voitures. Mais encore une fois, je suis persuadée et je sais qu'il va rien m'arriver parce que c'est hyper safe. C'est un mélange en fait entre l'éducation, la culture basée sur la discipline, le respect, etc. et aussi en fait les sanctions qui sont très sévères. De la درتي شي حاجة تكفرها بزاف.
駅の公衆トイレから見えてくる日本の安全を支える考え方。
The Harajuku train station in Tokyo, which is like Grand Central in New York City, freeze it right here. Front and backwards button ball wash combo with illustration, and you can increase the water pressure like a jacuzzi jet. Holy privacy sounds in case you're having a reckoning, indecent toilet paper, all of this in the busiest train station in the world. If their citizens are going to respect their public toilets like this, they're certainly going to respect their fellow humans as well, which is why Japan is one of the safest countries in the world.
子供を安心して送り出せる。その当たり前にアメリカ人の母親は感謝していました。
The feeling of safety when I can't find my kids at a supermarket, when I drop them off at school, when we're walking across the street. Thank you for taking the feeling away of, oh my God, is somebody going to try to take my kid right now? Oh my God, is somebody going to try to hurt my kid or me? I appreciate that. And I know there's positives and negatives to living here, to living anywhere. But I just want to say, thank you for giving me this feeling of security that you honestly really don't get in a lot of parts of America. So I wanted to take this time to say thank you, Japan.
日本で長く暮らしてきた男性が語る安全な街にもある注意点。
America that are just very scary, honestly. And even now I look at America and I go, oh wow, what is going on over there? But here I never feel I'm in danger. It's always safe. Now I think maybe for women there might be a different feeling, but in general I feel Japan is extremely safe even after 20 years. But on that note, I have to say Shinjuku Kabukicho area red light district is quite sus with the touts being extremely aggressive. That's probably the only place I feel a little bit uneasy, but you can avoid that completely if you never go to that area to party or bars or whatever. And if you are approached by a tout, you can just say no, walk away, just don't engage, you'll be fine. Alright, so there you go. Those are the 10 things I've learned living in Japan for 20 years. If you got any questions about the nightlife out here, drop it down below. Until next time, V is out.
安全だと感じる一方で、外国人女性が忘れない警戒心とは。
You'll have to be really careful. Presence of mind when you're outside. You can't be too lenient with your surroundings. Even if you are in a generally safe country, there are still bad people. The reason why I'm saying this is because the area where I live, there are a lot of foreigners, and when I go out alone, I always get catcalled. I think I may have been catcalled more than 10 times now. And as a woman, it is really scary. So yeah, I feel safer walking in Japan compared to the Philippines. But I always try to be very alert when I walk, especially when I'm alone.
日本はどこまで安全なのか、外国人の率直な体験を聞いてみます。
To Doji alleyway. And in Tokyo, be a bit more careful because in this area, like Asakusa, where is known like to have been pickpocketing. Because it's very, very busy, very congested area, and it's very easy to just steal something. So yeah, except from that, very safe country, the safest place I've been in the world, probably Japan. will be number one.
平和な日本で突然お金を要求された。そんな意外な場面もありました。
Why? なんで君たちのスポットここ通るなら1万円通るならで進んで大丈夫ですか進む1万円本当1万円でない1万円ない普通に進むでしょでもみんな進んでるいやでも
日本の安全を感じながらも知らない場所では油断しないことが大切です。